Pam Bondi did two things yesterday, both very reckless. Both reckless by themselves, but together they bespeak a real desperation on her part. The first, chronologically, was her re-ratification of Lindsey Halligan's indictment of Jim Comey on September 25th. She did that because there has been confusion about the grand jury transcript. A Judge Curry, who was reviewing the Lindsey Halligan disqualification motion, asked for the transcript, got something, said, no, you didn't give me what I wanted, got something more, and then in a hearing on Thursday said, we're still missing a few minutes. And to cover up those few minutes, DOJ submitted a declaration from Pam Bondi and a declaration from Halligan, and the declaration from Bondi said, no, this time I've read the transcripts. There's nothing missing. Halligan said, there's nothing missing. But in the process, she revealed that she had only presented the grand jury the indictment once. There are 3 copies of indictments. She only presented the grand jury once. There are a bunch more problems going on in this prosecution. For example, earlier last week, Jim Comey said, we're pretty sure that that the FBI not just accessed my privileged communication, but also accessed stuff that was effectively a general warrant, and therefore we are going to challenge much of this on Fourth Amendment grounds. And oh, by the way, so he said this on the 10th, oh, by the way, if Pam Bondi reviewed the grand jury transcript and these materials were used in the grand jury, that's a new harm, a new Fourth Amendment harm incurred by the Attorney General. He said that on the 10th. And she reviewed the same grand jury transcript again after prosecutors ditched about half of their evidence, and probably some of the evidence that came from general warrant territory. So Pam Bondi is now on the hook for material that violated Jim Comey's Fourth Amendment on an indictment that's going to get thrown out 1 or 10 other ways. Starting with the fact that somehow Lindsey Halligan went into one grand jury and came out with 3 different documents. So that's one thing. The other thing that Pam Bondi did is Donald Trump, who's panicking about Epstein, released a tweet saying, you know, you have to go after Democrats. You have to go after Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, Larry Summers, Pam Bondi, do an investigation. And so Pam Bondi... 4 months after she issued a very public prosecution declination saying there's no evidence of crime there, said, I've assigned the SDNY U.S. attorney to investigate this. There's no crime. Donald Trump says investigate Democrats. There's a crime. Now she's doing this. Trump is doing this. And I'm not sure whether they got together and decided this would be clever or whether they're just stupid. But they are doing it effectively to stall the Congress's demand for these transcripts. But not only is it only going to cause Congress to ask more questions. I mean, in the midst of this, Donald Trump picked a fight with Marjorie Taylor Greene. So he's creating this Epstein caucus. First Tom Massey, then Marjorie Taylor Greene, where he is saying, you can't have my support if you support the victims of pedophilia. But it's just going to inflame the scandal. And it's going to make it increasingly clear, not just in this case, but in every other case where Pam Bondi is weaponizing DOJ against Democrats. You have a public crystal clear case that Donald Trump demanded a criminal investigation, even though Pam Bondi herself had already decided no crime there, and Pam Bondi did it. And both of these have the possibility of backfiring politically. Obviously, the Epstein does, right? Because it's probably not going to work. And it's just going to feed the scandal. but legally in ways that it's like Pam Bondi doesn't care anymore. Pam Bondi has decided she's just going to blame judges who enforce the law, and to hell with those judges. And I don't think that's going to work out the way she wants it to either. So we'll see where it goes. I think this Comey stuff is going to really come to a head in the next 2 weeks, maybe fewer, but definitely 2, because Judge Curry said she's releasing an order by Thanksgiving. But I also suspect next week we're going to see developments in Comey's Fourth Amendment challenge as a request for these grand jury transcripts. And so Pam Bondi has sort of committed to go down with the ship, to go down with Lindsey Halligan. And Lindsey Halligan has done incredibly stupid things. And Pam Bondi has signed on to go down with her.